British champion Billy Joe Saunders said he is willing to go to Mexico to face Canelo Alvarez. He said, let's get it on. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash app, and the Patreon family. We working. Sign up for ESPN Plus below using my link. It does help the channel. And to all those who use my link for the John Jones fight versus Dominic Reyes, was a really good fight, and I appreciate you guys. Now, Canelo Alvarez, we don't know who he's going to be fighting next, but the two names that are currently being mentioned are Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Smith. At one point, Ryota Murata was discussed for Japan, but according to some sources, they're saying that those talks have kind of fizzled out and they might revisit it later. I don't know what the hang-up was, but you do have a lot of parties involved. You have Golden Boy, you have DAZN, you have Murata's promoter. And one of the things that I said for the Ryota Murata fight is, to my knowledge, he already has he's a Japanese fighter fighting in Japan. So he already has distribution in Japan. People who broadcast his fight to Japanese networks, which would be a problem for DAZN, because DAZN, they do have DAZN Japan, but if they can't work out a deal, or they couldn't reach an agreement, then that wouldn't benefit DAZN, and DAZN is paying Canelo all this money. So it could be something like that, where they couldn't figure out the broadcaster or whatever the situation is. So Billy Joe Saunders did an interview with Sky Sports, and he says, and I quote, "I'm up for the Canelo fight. I have not priced myself out. I've asked right. I'm willing to travel for Cinco de Mayo, May 2nd. I can only do so much. I can only offer myself. If they really want to fight, then let's get it on. We've got 12 weeks. If not me and Caleb Smith will get it on a big fight, a huge unification fight." He says, if not me and Caleb Smith will get it on in a big fight, a huge unification fight. I hear Smith is the front runner, then I hear I'm the front runner. If it doesn't happen, I think me and Caleb should fight. That part doesn't make sense, because what we're hearing, unless there's some wild card option, with Canelo, we're hearing that it's going to be Billy Joe Saunders or Caleb Smith. And then Billy Joe Saunders is saying he wants to fight Caleb Smith in a unification if Canelo doesn't choose him. But if Canelo doesn't choose him, based on all the reports, it sounds like Caleb Smith may get the fight. So I don't know. We got to wait and see. But Billy Joe Saunders continued and said, "I would go to Mexico if Canelo and his promoters want, as long as they got a fair, square ring. Let's see who is the best. I fear no man. If they want to fight, I'm ready to fight. I'm the WBO super middleweight champion. He's a 3-weight world champion, not 4, like he keeps saying. I wanted to be busy. I wanted to be out mid-February, but the Canelo fight got mentioned, and now you have to have some patience. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The problem is, I've been here before. I've been here twice with Gennady Golovkin. I've been here twice with Canelo. These big fights, I've been before and seen the carpet pulled from under me, so I'm not excited. The only time I get excited is when I put pen to the paper." He says, if they really want to fight, then let's get it on. We've got 12 weeks. Listen, I've already talked about it, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about my thoughts on the fight. It is what it is. Canelo is clearly not trying to fight certain guys. Guys like Charlo and Andrade. Stylistically, I think those are the best fights for an American audience. Also, guys like Beterbiev, David Benavidez would be great audience builder fights, which I would assume DAZN needs with all the money they're paying Canelo. But Saunders is a good fighter. He's not coming off a great performance. Smith won the World Boxing Super Series. Again, he's not coming off a good performance. This seems to be the routine for Canelo. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll see if he keeps the Cinco de Mayo week. There's just a lot. You know, they're talking about Floyd Mayweather may come back. They're talking about Tank fighting Leo Santa Cruz in May. Maybe at Staples Center, maybe T-Mobile. So I'm just waiting for some announcements so we can get it cracking and see what's what. But it's going to be what it's going to be. I don't know. I'm trying to think of if I was Canelo's people. I guess they would rather fight Caleb Smith. I don't know. Canelo's options are a little bit weird because Billy Joe Saunders is probably, you know, he's not like super known in America, but amongst boxing hardcores, I would say he's the bigger name than Caleb Smith, at least in America. But Caleb Smith has more of a style that I would imagine Canelo likes because he's more up and down, throws punches, offensive fighter. Plus, I really thought he lost his last fight to John Ryder. But the only problem with that is he's really big. You know, he's like bigger than Golovkin. He's like 6'3", 6'4". So I don't know if Canelo would prefer that style, you know, just because he's big, even though he's coming off a bad performance. I don't know. But stylistically, Smith is more straight up and down that Canelo, you know, kind of like his brother, Liam Smith and stuff, that kind of like European fighter. I think Billy Joe Saunders at his best. See, Billy Joe Saunders like Tyson Fury, and they're buddies, and they're both gypsies. And the reason I'm comparing them to is because you never know what to expect. Sometimes Tyson Fury or Billy Joe Saunders, they'll put on a masterful performance and you're like, oh man, and you start really checking for them. And then they'll fight someone that you've never heard of and stink up the joint and not look so good. You know, Tyson Fury with Otto Wallin, you did good boxing with Deontay Wilder, but then you fight Otto Wallin and you're getting hurt. And I mean, he got hurt with Wilder too, but his face is all bloody and, you know, it was kind of weird. And same thing with, you have Billy Joe Saunders. He puts on a great performance with, like, let's say Andy Lee or David Lemieux, but then he fights Artur Akov or Marcelo Corceres and he doesn't look good. You know, so you never know what you're going to get. Some people fight to the competition. Maybe that's what it is. If you elevate their game and give them a better name, they'll show up better. But Billy Joe Saunders at his best, I think, is slippery and slick, and that's going to cause Canelo to have to move and try to cut off the ring and, you know, things that he struggled with against the likes of Erislandy Lara, Floyd Mayweather, and styles like that use some ring generalship and stuff. His team, Canelo's team, said at a point they would not fight Willie Monroe when Willie Monroe was kind of relevant in the division. They said they wouldn't fight him because they don't like his style. They never gave Lara a rematch. You know, they never even mentioned Floyd until Canelo outgrew the division and was so far away from Floyd and fighting in the higher weight classes, 60, 68, 75. Then they started talking more and more about a rematch. So we'll see what Canelo decides. Billy Joe says he would fight him in Mexico. That wouldn't be bad for DAZN. You know, that would attract a good crowd. The time would still be, you know, depending on what part of Mexico, still be kind of reasonable for U.S. audiences. But ultimately, I don't think it'll happen in Mexico. But we'll see. We'll see what they decide. I'm just waiting for some big announcements so, you know, we see what's what for 2020. Let me know what you guys think. Do you prefer Billy Joe Saunders? Do you prefer Caleb Smith? I know a lot of you guys really prefer Charlo or Andrade, but drop all your thoughts in the comment section. If you love what I'm doing, smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.